Your desires come from I am. Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome back to my channel. This is Priya, your manifestation coach. And in this video, I'm going to shine some light if there is such thing as a true desire versus a false desire. But first, if you would like to get coached by me, you can get access to my e-courses, my one-on-one coaching. You can also get live weekly coaching with me via the school community to help you stay in your desired state by simply clicking the link below in the description box. Okay, let's get back to this video. Your desires come from I am. Now, the reason why I made this video is because I got a question from one of you guys that I'm going to read out, and I thought it was a really great question. And it's really asking about true desires versus false desires. Is there such thing? So the question goes along the lines of, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but parts of it. So I need your expert take on a contradiction that is causing a lot of confusion in the manifestation community regarding a specific person. Recently, I encountered a teaching suggesting that we should hold the standard but be open to someone else if the universe decides they are a better match. When I questioned this, the response was about trusting divine timing and that the universe might know what I need better than I do. To me, this sounds like a total denial of our divinity. If I am is the only reality and everyone is me pushed out, how can a separate universe have a vote or a better plan for me? I have already made my choice and I refuse to settle for a backup or a replacement. Okay, so I want to really shine some light on this question, which kind of goes into a deeper discussion about, is there such thing as true desires versus programmed desires and false desires? So where I want to begin by this is by first coming back to the truth that you can manifest whatever it is that you want. As I am, as the operant power of your reality, there is nothing off limits. You can absolutely manifest anything that you want. Now, when it comes to the discussion about true desires versus false desires or programmed desires, there is some nuances to this. So you can absolutely manifest a specific person. If you desire a relationship with a specific person, you can absolutely manifest the version of them that you desire, because the version of them that you desire already exists in a parallel reality. There are infinite parallel realities that exist. So if you desire a version of your specific person that is in a loving, committed relationship with you, you can absolutely select that version of reality. In other words, focus your consciousness on that portion of reality because creation is already finished. And you can do this with any desire. It doesn't have to be a specific person. There is already a version of you that is healthy, that is wealthy, that is living in your dream house. All of this already exists in a different parallel reality. There is a version of you that is already experiencing this. Now, when it comes to what do you truly desire, when it comes to a specific person, but you can apply this to any other desires, but let's just take this as an example. What happens with a lot of people is that when they come in to manifest their specific person, and this isn't with everybody, but a lot of people, usually they are accepting or tolerating really disrespectful behavior. So perhaps you desire your specific person, but they're not even in a relationship with you. They are breadcrumbing you. They only contact you once a month. Maybe they only contact you for a booty call. And a lot of people settle for this, although they want the full-blown relationship. Now, you can absolutely manifest a version of that specific person who is in a loving, committed relationship with you. But what happens is the version of you that was tolerating the breadcrumbs or that was tolerating the booty call, that was coming from a version of you that had an unfavorable self-concept, such as I'm not lovable, I'm not good enough, something's wrong with me, I need fixing, I need healing. When you are operating from that identity, you will look outside of you to be loved. You will need your specific person to prove to you that you are lovable and worthy, and that's why you are looking to that specific person to be like, please love me, please show me that I'm lovable, good enough, and worthy. And this is why you're tolerating the breadcrumbs. It's like, I'm going to tolerate anything I can get just so that this specific person can prove to me that I'm worthy. Now, as people raise their self-concept, meaning they begin to identify as somebody who is, I am lovable, I am enough, I am worthy simply because I exist, I am magnetic as fuck, I am beautiful, I always get what I want. And people really begin to embody this version of them. For most people, they no longer desire their specific person. For most people, they get the ick from that specific person who was breadcrumbing in them and only calling them for booty calls. And this is because now you are the version of you that feels worthy to receive, that knows that you deserve better. And from there, people go on to manifest their dream relationship with somebody new. Now, this doesn't happen for everybody. For some people, perhaps you're already in a relationship with your specific person where there is a certain minimum standard that is being met, but you want to improve the relationship, or there's something that you want to change about the relationship. And so, although you focus on improving your self-concept, you still desire your specific person, the version of your specific person that you want to experience, and you can absolutely manifest that. My message here is that when you do self-concept work and you get to a place within yourself where you know you are lovable no matter what, good enough no matter what, and worthy to receive, it will come from within you. Nobody outside of you can tell you what you truly desire. It will come directly from I am to you. This is when you're in a good place, you will know what you truly desire. So again, when you have a favorable self-concept, that is when you can really tune in and say, okay, what is it that I truly desire? Do I actually desire my specific person or not? Now, let's say you're somebody who was being treated badly by your specific person. They were breadcrumbing you. They were only calling you for booty calls, and you're somebody who raises your self-concept. And when you do, you no longer desire that specific person. In fact, you get the ick from them. In this situation, you could say that your desire for your specific person was a false desire. It wasn't your true desire. However, there is a deeper message here. The message is that your desire was never about your specific person. Your desire was about you becoming the next best version of yourself. That is the deeper meaning of anything that we desire. Now, another way that you could look at it is that you desiring to manifest your specific person was the catalyst that awakened you to who you truly are. It opened you up to your true power and knowing yourself as the I am. So in that sense, it was always a win-win to begin with. Now, as to this viewer's question about is there some universe outside of you deciding for you and knowing what is best for you, it's not that there is some universe outside of you that is deciding for you. It's more about you getting to a place within yourself where you dominantly know you're lovable, good enough, and worthy in order for you to get clear about what it is that you truly want. Sometimes we do have programmed desires. An example of this in my own life is when I first understood about manifestation and that we create our own reality. I, at the time, was working in corporate London. This was more than over 10 years ago. And at that time, because of where I was on my journey, the first thing that I wanted to manifest was a promotion and a pay rise. And that's exactly what I manifested. And it came in very quickly. But once I got the promotion and the pay rise, I very quickly became aware that I no longer want to be in corporate. This is not what I want to be doing. And then from there, I then manifested a new life. But back then, when I was in corporate, if somebody had told me for where I was at on my journey, why don't you just manifest not having a 9 to 5? I wouldn't have been ready for it. In my mind, I was like, no, I'm manifesting this promotion and this pay rise in corporate. I would have been like, no way to leaving my 9 to 5. But that was the stepping stone that got me to where I am now. But I did quickly realize that me working in corporate London was all programming, meaning it wasn't really what I truly desired. It was what I call program desires, the conditioning through society that says you're meant to go to school, get good grades, go to uni, then go and get a good job, etc., etc. That's what I called my programmed desires. But through manifestation, through manifesting success in that environment, I quickly became aware that this is not who I am. This is not what I want. This doesn't make me happy. And from there, I went on to then manifesting what I truly desire. So my message with that is that it doesn't really matter, because I could see how everything was a stepping stone that was leading me to get to where I am now. And so in the same way, you can't get it wrong. You can never fuck it up. Even if, say, something is a programmed desire, but you're unaware of it, it doesn't matter. Once you manifest that, you will very quickly become aware, oh, actually, this is not what I want. This doesn't make me happy. And then from there, you can begin to really get clear on what is it that I want, what truly makes me happy, and then manifest what you want, because you will have already experienced knowing that you can manifest what you want. You have already awakened to the fact that you are the operant power of your reality, that you are the creator of your reality, that you are I am. So my message is, it doesn't really matter if you are manifesting something that is considered a false desire and not your true desire, because you will very quickly become aware after manifesting it that this is not what you want. And from there, you can then get clear on what it is that you do want, because you would have awakened to your true power as I am. You will know that you can have whatever it is that you want, and you will begin to get clear on what truly makes you happy, what brings you alive, what you're passionate about. So my conclusion with, is there such thing as a true desire versus a false desire? Yes, there is. However, it really doesn't matter. The whole point of you having a desire is to remember yourself as I am. So even if, say, something was a programmed desire at first or a false desire, it doesn't matter. That is a gateway that is allowing you to awaken to your true power as I am. And once you manifest that, you then begin to get clear on what it is that you truly want, what it is that truly makes your heart sing. And from there, you go on to continually manifest things that make you happy. But then you get to a point where you're now manifesting from being happy with what you have, but excited for more. So it's no longer coming from a place of survival mode. One more thing that I will say about true desires versus false desires is that ultimately everything comes from I am. Everything is I am. So if we're going to go straight to the top, it really doesn't matter. Everything comes from I am, everything is I am, and everything will return to I am. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day or a wonderful evening. Mwah.